So, welcome to Wanstead. I once shot some B-roll at this station, maybe you remember the vlog. We're about to visit the London Eye. I don't think we can go up there because the tickets have to be booked in advance and everything. And if you're ever in London and want to visit something where you have to buy the tickets in advance, forget it. They're gonna be sold out by the time you're in London. But that doesn't stop us from checking it out from the outside and all the things that are near it, so here we go. C-3PO, what are you doing there? I just pretty much shot all of this B-roll from this seat here. Now you know what a telephoto lens is able to do. Okay, gonna pack the camera away now because I'm just way too scared to get it stolen here. Okay, last day means we're leaving London. It's nice being here again, but every trip has to come to an end eventually. Going to the airport now. Okay, now here's the biscuits. These are absolutely necessary, these are functional, and these are for ads, for your personal information. Now, do you accept all of these or only the absolutely necessary ones? Dang. Camera's gotta go. See you in Eindhoven. Alright. Back at the office. It's been one hell of a trip, and it's way later now than the actual trip. Like 3 months or so later, it's not late at all. Although the main purpose of this trip was to go on vacation with my friend and show him London, it also was a really good opportunity to shoot the music video for 3 years, as I told you in the last video. And I can tell you one thing, we are this close to publishing the whole song everywhere. Like, pretty much everywhere. Of course, SoundCloud, Spotify, Kubose, all the major streaming platforms. And the music video is already finished. It's completely exported, so be sure to subscribe so you're not gonna miss it when it comes out. Of course, I don't think it's gonna have much of an impact, but I promised it, and so I'm publishing it. Almost, ironically, 3 years later. I just haven't decided yet which service to use to distribute it to all the streaming platforms. And I really hope I'm still able to publish this song this year, so when I do, I can announce it to you guys and publish a trailer. About the 1DX Mark II. Why did I buy this camera? And I mean, you know it's a nice camera, right? It means business. When you look at this in my hands, and I'm not a particularly tall guy, then you see this thing means business. This is a really hefty big old camera, and if you got this in your hand, then you know you really got something to work with there. Not these tiny flimsy little Sony cameras. I was originally looking for a cinema camera, and I was considering getting something like a used FS5 or an FS7 Mark I or Mark II. Because I saw that my Sony cameras I was working with, like the A6300, which is filming right now, didn't really have the codec to handle color grading. When I did so, especially in low light, everything became kind of noisy and the noise was really enhanced and pronounced, so the image was kind of ruined a bit. Of course, you don't notice that as much with compression, but if you're producing videos professionally, professionally, then you don't want to rely on compression covering up your mistakes. So I decided it was finally time to buy a cinema camera. A camera with a really stable codec for color grading, basically. So I originally wanted to buy a video first camera, which is why I looked at the FS5, but then I saw that that one did not even have any more megabits per second than the A6300. I even shot some test footage on an FS5 and I saw that didn't really have a good highlight roll-off. It was kind of weird and it took a long time to grade. The colors aren't even as good as my A6300, which still has some improvable colors. I mean, Sony did improve their color science with the A7S III and onwards. But then looking on the German equivalent of Craigslist, I stumbled across a used Canon 1DX Mark II for under $2,000 and I was like, whoa, they're that cheap now? And yes, they are really that cheap. I decided to look for some and I ended up buying this one for just under $2,000 without the lens. That one, also in a used condition, cost me another $500. But this one's a really good example. It only had about 60,000 shots taken on it, which is nothing for a camera that shoots 14 frames per second, and that's a DSLR. And speaking of which, yes, a DSLR has some drawbacks to it, like the EVF missing. It doesn't have an EVF, which kind of sucks if you're coming from mirrorless cameras, but you get used to it after a while. And when you put this in live view mode, it really has the capabilities that most mirrorless cameras have. Of course, it's never gonna be as good as like an A9 or something, or an R5C, which I also have shot with, and that's a dream camera, I can tell you. I have gotten used to shooting with a DSLR again. I mean, it's not like I don't know how to. I have shot on a D3300 for a couple of years and now I'm back in the DSLR game. And for this one, shooting so fast, faster than my mirrorless cameras, and shooting 800 megabits per second in 4K slow motion, I'm taking it. This DSLR is one of the closest you can get to mirrorless cameras that's not gonna break your bank like the brand new ones. An R5C is about as expensive as this 1DX Mark II was back then. It was about $6,000, and the R5C still is about $6,000, so you decide. This one for $2,000 or an R5C for 3 times the price. I don't know, you tell me. And yes, you can vlog with it, although it's pretty heavy. It's not even that cumbersome to use. It, in fact, is pretty easy to use, like the normal Canon cameras, the smaller ones. It's just really heavy, so you're gonna need the strap, it's gonna get in the way, and people will see, oh, it's the expensive one. And maybe some people will consider stealing it. But the reason I bought this camera is the codec, and it really has served me well. The footage doesn't fall apart, it does use a lot of space, and I only have a 64GB CF card at the moment. That gets filled up pretty fast, especially when shooting in 4K, but you can expand on that, and I'm definitely planning to do that. I think getting the 1DX Mark II was a good decision. Yes, I already have shot a couple of jobs with it, and it has done a really good job. And now one thing I want to talk about is time. And you know, I always want to publish more YouTube videos. I have a lot of ideas. This year, I graduated from high school, from German high school. Yes, I did it. That's why on this channel there hasn't been a lot of videos. There have been more videos on my German channel, as always. But not only did graduating from school take some time, but I have made some friends. And it's not like I didn't have any friends before. Of course I did, but during the German graduation phase you do build up some strong connections with the people you're in a class with, the people you know at school. I didn't quite think I'd be able to achieve this, but I really did achieve that now after high school we are still in contact and still meeting up. And it does take away some free time that I could potentially use to make some videos for you guys. And if you look at my subscriber count, then you might as well subscribe, but also you're gonna see that I'm very far away from being a YouTuber for a living, which is also why I am studying now. Yep, I have started studying, not film, business computer science. That's an entirely different topic, and it doesn't mean at all that I'm not going to continue filmmaking just because I have a bit less time when I'm studying. It is also a dual course of study, so that is some additional time taken away. It's like a special German thing where you get paid to study. It's a bit like an apprenticeship, but with studying in it, and it's a bit complicated to explain now. I know it seems really German and highly attractive probably to you Americans out there. So if any of you are wondering why I'm taking so long to make some new videos, yeah, that's why. But the will to continue this is definitely there. And after all, I am really close to publishing my music video, so who knows where that could go. What I'm trying to say is, we're not done, we will continue, but maybe at a slow pace like this. And who knows where that might lead us. The music video is about to be published, and that could go a long way, maybe. And my life overall has changed. I am a student now. That's different to being in school, like in high school, and now I'm at a university. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, then for the third time in this video, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on new videos. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If not, drop a dislike, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out!